Welcome to the Sold Too Early Sports Card Podcast, catering to an Instagram audience. So I'll talk slowly so you can understand me. That's Kai. I'm 14% sure Drake PC's Wander Franco, and we're already canceled. We had a good run. Kai, how the hell you doing, man?
I'm doing good. That was I told you this, but that was one of my favorite intros, I think. Just with everything going on.
Yeah, listen, not a fan of Drake anyway to begin with. Just never really liked his music. And Kendrick Lamar going and absolutely burying the man is quite hilarious to me. And I will never forget the week or 2 weeks maybe that Drake collected sports cards and people were like hating on his nuts all about it. So it's really, really funny to, in a very small way, take Drake down a peg, which frankly is just hilarious to me. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I saw he got his house broken into or something today. I don't know what's going on with him. He's having a tough time, it seems like.
It's rightfully earned. He is basically a pedophile. Whether that's confirmed or not is a different conversation. But
Allegedly.
Allegedly, most likely, probably true. Either way, very much okay with making fun of him. He deserves it regardless. So, people on his nuts who are in sports cards, you know, you guys have great taste. What can I say? I'm obviously kidding because sure know how to pick them. But what else? What else is going on today? Really, at this point now, we're starting to get looking forward to the Dallas Card Show, which will be happening next week. What's interesting is I actually sold my table for this show. Not because I'm not attending or I won't be there. I'm going to be set up as a vendor in a different location this time. But I was able to get some showcase space with a couple of friends. Lucas Sports Carmania, and I believe Mikey of Mikey's Cards, who's been on this podcast a couple of times, one of our best friends. We always mention that to him. I believe he's going to be setting up with us too. And I could have easily kept my location, but hey, this go around was able to set up with a couple more friends, make a couple bucks for my table space, keep it obvious in my name. So I'm already in the green in terms of prepping for my show a week and a half beforehand. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, it's a fun little switch up for you, right?
Yeah, so their location is in the middle of the showroom floor, so probably will be less traffic directly to my location. But you know what? Why not just change it up a little bit? It's gonna be my last Dallas show until September because hopefully not ever. I do enjoy that show, but July 4th is the next one that is absolutely brutal. If you're going, you obviously do not have friends or family who want to do other things because going to a card show 4th of July weekend is a incredibly tough sell. And I would not have gone anyway, and that just happened to be when my honeymoon is, so I had a valid excuse.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious to see how many people go to that. I feel like people are going to go still just because they have nothing better to do.
They will. That's the interesting thing about our industry is the people who are going to attend that show who travel out of state for it, do this full time and can't afford to hashtag take a break, yo. There'll obviously be people there Friday at night, Saturday, and maybe Sunday a little bit.
Which day is 4th of July? Is it the Friday or Thursday?
I believe 4th of July. I'm actually checking super quickly. 4th of July is the Thursday. But realistically, most people are not going to work July 5th. So Friday morning at Dallas probably will be pretty good of that July 4th show. But Friday night and especially Saturday, I imagine will be pretty dead compared to the average Dallas card show.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, if you can make it work, if you're in the local area, you should go. But it would have been an incredibly tough sell for me to personally have gone to that show, regardless of what I was doing after.
Yeah, and even flying and stuff's probably gonna be a little rough during the holiday weekend.
I imagine that
terrible, but
that Saturday or Sunday could be brutal. I don't know. I kept that in my mind, but I'm already starting to prep for fall 2024 shows. So I already have a couple things in mind that I've already committed to. I will be in Nashville for their national show.
They got you to go, Mikey.
So Mikey did get me to go. It is a brutal show, but my mentality is I have to make up for lost time being out of cards for basically 2 months now. from May Dallas to the National / Burbank, I'm not going to be doing much in cards at all, rightfully so. As I'm getting married, like on my honeymoon, like I'm not going to be touching card stuff. Like I don't give a shit. So I want to make up for it by like doing other shows I previously like written off, or, like not ever attended. Like I intend on possibly going to Minnesota in the fall. Nashville is on my radar. I'm probably going to go back to anything kind of on like the East Coast. Generally, I mean Tennessee is technically like not the East Coast, but it's kind of like right there.
What, like Midwest kind of?
I guess it's kind of the Midwest. I
Like
mean,
like mid.
yeah. So it's a pretty convenient flight for me. The show is not the best. I've said that a bunch. It has the tables like a Dallas, but the quality is just not there. Maybe it's changed in the last year or so. So I have expectations for that in the coming months. Obviously, there'll be Dallases and Burbanks and the National and Fanatic stuff. Fanatics also did announce their Orlando show, which I think we both knew of beforehand. I think from different sources, which is super funny. That I really am interested in seeing, because how far is the Orlando Convention Center from you?
I mean, when I'm at like my house, it's like probably 20 minutes, but from where I am now, it's like 4 hours. But I would just go home for the weekend.
That's so sick. I hope you're able to make that show. That's really cool. Like, I really am interested in trying out these new locations, these new shows. We're giving a second chance to shows I had previously written off because, like, why not? I have the ability to now.
You're not gonna be flying into Disneyland for a weekend?
Dude, that is a... I have to say this. New Jersey to Florida flights are pretty cheap, which is convenient because like there's so many of them. But I've actually watched a lot of video content about Disney. I've been to Disneyland once. I was like 15 or 16, and it was cool, but like to go there now as an adult is pretty brutal. But I will be heading up Disney World in Anaheim in August, which will be fun, at least for a day.
Yeah, I've never been to the Anaheim one, obviously, but I mean, the only thing I really like at the Florida one now is like the Star Wars place. But
I mean,
I like that, yeah, because you don't watch Star Wars, so.
No, I did forget that May the 4th be with you was this week, and I may have sent Star Trek memes to my friends because I thought it was funny. The one thing about Disneyland, the one in Florida I like, is Epcot. Epcot is fucking goated.
That's the one place I've never been to.
Epcot is really cool, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta say. But what else is happening right now? I mean, I don't know. This is kind of like a weird spot. Like, this is probably the first time in quite a long time that I'm like buying actively, but also like not posting a ton of it on Instagram. Part of that is just like the quality of stuff I'm buying is a lot of like $10 to $500 cards, which is great. And secondly, if I post them on Instagram, they're generally gone pretty quickly. It's this really nice sweet spot that I've realized, I've said for a while, I really am a big fan of. And it's also really funny. I'm not sure, Kai, how much you have to deal with this on a day-to-day basis, but like repackers and people who want to buy at certain percentages, it has gotten so competitive these days where I'm getting 85 to 87% of comps for like every item, if not higher in general cases. And everyone has to offer around that number. And they have to be nice to you too. Like, there's so many people who just try to buy and flip quickly. If they're kind of a dickhead or they're not willing to like meet you at your number, there's 10 more of them just clamoring to get into your DMs or come up to you at a show and want to make a deal with you.
Yeah, for me, like, unnamed sources here, but basically everything that I end up getting back from like PSA grading, as long as it is worth like $50 or more, I get like 95% for it. So I usually don't even like do anything with the cards. Like I just mail them to this person after I get them back. So I don't really deal with like the haggling between like 5 different people for like the same lot.
Now, to be fair, I want to clarify this too. Are you splitting these cards with someone, or you just have built a connection with this person?
Yeah, that's unnamed sources.
I understand that. I'm not asking you to name your source. It's fine.
Yeah.
But is it more of the fact that you've built up this connection with this person that they're just buying everything from you? Or like you split this card or these items with someone and then you just get them out to them right away?
So I split them and then we sell them to a repacker. Yeah.
Amazing. Like the reputations you build and the connections you have with these people in this industry really do carry everything you do. And that's one thing I really have really kind of leaned into over the last couple of weeks as I've bought quantity instead of quality. Like repackers can clean out you if they really, really want to, but like they also are there are some that are kind of scummy, and you'll know who they are based on like what they're targeting, what percentages they're offering you. Like you can say no pretty confidently now to 80% of comps if you're selling something to a repacker. Even 85% on a general good day of quality stuff, you can say no to. You can get better percentages, and that makes it better for everyone in our industry. If you're either a dealer, a flipper, someone who rips cards, you're getting better percentages across all your items now.
Something that I meant to write down for this episode that I just kind of thought of that really like I don't want to say bothers me, but it's really annoying. You know, I hear people say this, but it's like when you're negotiating with someone and they're offering on your cards or whatever you're listening to them offer on someone else's, and they're like, I can't do that. I need some room on them. Like, no, like no one's obligated to do that at all.
Yeah, there are some certain cliche like lines that people do use that I'm not a fan of. Come on, bro, I gotta make money. Come on, like give me some meat on this bone. I'll make you a better deal here. It's like, first off, fucking no, I don't. I don't have to owe you anything. You're buying this card, and I can sell it for whatever price I want to. If not, there's 5 other people walking the show who will pay the same price, if not more. And secondly, once again, my general belief is the best way of showing support for someone that you actually like is not following them. It's not commenting on their posts. It's not engaging with them. It's selling them cards or buying cards off them. So I want to make this a blanket statement as well. If I've never dealt with you, that does not mean I don't like you. But there might be an opportunity down the line where we come to an agreement and it makes sense for us both financially, and then a relationship builds. And I typically deal with now 80 to 90% of repeat customers because frankly, I'd rather them succeed than a scumbag who doesn't frankly deserve it.
Yeah, there's just so many ways you can like move cards now that people that act like they're entitled to like get a good deal from you, even if they don't like know you, it just blows my mind.
I think there's a rude awakening coming. I think there's a rude awakening coming for those type of people because they're getting priced out, and there are plenty of people I've seen both in person and online complaining like, "Oh, these repackers are paying such high percentages. I can't buy a damn thing." Well, fucking maybe you should raise the price that you're able to pay. And if you can't, the industry has adopted. It has moved on without
Well,
you.
or
So
just don't kabooms the same cards they're all buying, the kabooms, and that like buy like a normal card that isn't that.
yeah,
Like
it's
it's not that hard, I feel like.
It's really not like that's. I like to have a good mix of inventory that is like rare and like unique, and stuff that is super duper liquid. And lately, I've been trying my best to get more of the liquid, high quality stuff, as opposed to like a Joey Votto one of one definitive logo patch auto, which is a goddamn awesome card. And when that item does move, it'll go to a collector, or like my Derek Jeter Transcendent booklet one of one, or not booklet, the top box topper. Gorgeous card. I'm clearly a Yankee fan. Like if I don't sell that card for 6 months, okay, cool. Would I like to sell it? Of course I would. Can I afford to hold it for 6 months? Yes. But on quality and quantity type stuff I'm buying at whatever percentages I am and making a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, the world keeps spinning, and I will keep those employed who have done right by me versus those who either like think they deserve the best price ever or just frankly just bad people, which exists within our industry as a whole, regardless of where you are.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a point in the next, I don't know, 6 months maybe where a lot of these people that are buying for either repacks or they're just trying to like bulk buy are going to either get a rude awakening or priced out or something's going to happen or they're going to get punched in the face, one of them. I don't know. I think it's coming though.
I have never seen a physical fight at a card show, but I kind of really want to.
It's going to be them if it's anyone. Someone going, I need some more room, man. I can't pay 71% on these kabooms for $20,000.
It's either going to be that or someone who gets caught blatantly stealing and they get fucking rocked, which they deserve.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
There's something to that. Like, I'm not wishing for anyone to get stolen. I'm not wishing for like bad things. We're just having a conversation about it. But I do wonder, frankly, like how some people just don't get robbed. Like whether they're their showcases are open, whether they're just so disorderly they can't figure out what the hell they own, or like they're not keeping track of their stuff. Like organization is really the most important thing at a card show, other than like the people you're surrounded by and your quality of stuff and your prices. Like organization really goes a long way between those who have their shit together and those who don't. And Mikey, when I set up with him in the last Dallas card show, as a joke, like randomly threw his shit in his like showcase, that gave me such like an anxiety attack because like obviously Mikey was doing it to like fuck with me and it worked, but yeah, you get more interesting queries because like people like try to like scan through your shit, but like they're not going to be like realistic sales. They're just people like, oh, what the hell is that card? What's that one? How much is this worth? I probably called Mikey like 7 or 8 times at that show, and I was pissed at him. Like, yo, price your fucking cards, or I'm not helping you anymore. And then like he didn't price them, and I still helped him because we're friends. But like, fuck you, Mikey.
Yeah, it's gotta be rough because Mikey's got like the super rare, cool stuff that you probably don't even like know ballpark what it's worth sometimes.
No, it's not. And he obviously got better about it. He was obviously like messing with me,
That's
but that
funny.
is, it's funny now in retrospect, but it definitely was not the most fun thing when I had to call the dude a couple times. Like, yo, what's this worth? What's this worth? Price your cards. Hey, dickhead, price your cards. Hey, price your cards. Hey, yo, you want to with me again? You can't. Got to price your cards first. Like,
I guess also with the point of like the people that are super unorganized, which to me, I never will understand how you could be unorganized and deal with like tens of thousands in cards. But if they're so unorganized, like, don't you think they wouldn't even realize they got robbed sometimes, or like someone stole out of the dollar box or whatever?
that kind of happens. It happens at every single show, whether it's your local Dallas card, whether it's your local card show or Dallas or Birmingham the National. Cards get stolen for one of 3 reasons. You're either unorganized, no one's paying attention to your cards, you're either just frankly dumb or too trusting of people, or you're not like methodical in like how you do things. This is kind of 1 and 2 tied together. You're not organized in how you deal with your cards, you're not paying attention, you don't have the right staffing, you're helping too many people. I really do not like to have more than one item out or one deal at a time negotiated unless I frankly know that person for years. And I've done that at Dallas Card Show. I've dealt 2 deals at the same time and like been able to do it like well because these are 2 people I trust 100% or like very, very close to. And I know they're not going to screw me over. But like if it's 2 randoms, like, hey, 1 second, no problem. Like, give me a second here. Let me make sure I organize this first. And I just stare down my cards to make sure everything's like closed and organized. Because all it takes is like 1 second to not paying attention or turn away or sneeze or cough or whatever. And that $5,000 card, $10,000 card, whatever it is, gone. And you'll never see it again.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain cards like if you have like a raw Prism Silver of like Wemby, it's like $500. Like if someone steals that, you're never gonna get it back. Like there's no way to track it.
No, of course not. I mean, yeah, if you have a 1-of-1 Joe DiMaggio cut auto from this product, yeah, it'll come up and you'll see it at some point in time. But yo, did you actually see that this news article came out, I think a couple days ago, maybe even this morning? An auction house was shipping cards to a card show in Cleveland. It was 54 cards.
I did see that.
So for anyone who did not see this news article, I'll link in the description for everyone as well. But to my best recollection, this was an auction house. I believe it was Memory Lane, and they FedExed 50 cards, 50 vintage cards valued at over $2 million to some card show in Cleveland. They were promoting like their auction. They wanted to make sure people saw this stuff. The cards got stolen. Like $2 million in cards, about 50 to 60 cards stolen. Really tragic. But at that dollar value, wouldn't it just make more sense to have sent another person to the show and make them...
I was just going to say that. Why would you not? I don't know what they do for like the National, but why would you not just have someone drive there with the cards?
Well, not even just drive. If you wanted to like get someone there and make sure that like there's no issues whatsoever, bring one more employee, pay for their fucking room and their hotel and comp them with $1,500, $2,000, whatever, to be there and working for you, and have them their carry-on bag or their backpack at that point be a Zion case or whatever else of your items. Make sure it never leaves their fucking face. I would be shitting bricks if I shipped $2 million in cards FedEx. I don't care who it is.
Dude, I don't think anyone would do that besides them.
It's just really bad. And like from what I saw, the people whose cards got stolen like were made whole. Like the auction house is like the insurance covered or something along those lines. Like people did not get scammed out of their cards in their auction, so like things will be resolved. But like that's a multi-million-dollar mistake that could have easily been avoided. What the hell was going on? Like, how did someone approve this? What are you thinking?
I would hate to be paying their insurance monthly after this incident.
I would just hate to be working for them and like understanding that my superiors or whoever was in charge of this had no idea what they were doing. Just
Yeah.
super duper embarrassing. One other funny thing, and I poked fun at this on Instagram today. Elaine, LJK Cards, and I bought a Mason Rudolph collection. It was 140, give or take, Mason Rudolph RPAs, autos, patch autos, dual autos, a couple of relics in there, pro uniform and collegiate. We spent $2,000 on this lot. Basically counted to about 14 to 15 bucks per card.
Dude, it's such a good deal in my opinion.
So once again, and I was poking fun at this before because for whatever reason, when we were talking about Japanese baseball last year and I was buying and like having fun with that, like opening hundreds of boxes of cards, people followed and the prices went up 60% per box or per set, I should say, on StockX as a result, which is really, really goddamn funny. One of the dumbest things I've ever done in my entire life is become Mr. NPB because that was a great time. And frankly, I'm actually starting to sell off some of the NPB I own in consignment because I don't want to deal with it. But my rationale for Mason Rudolph and why I did it is very simple. I can make money right now selling the cards if I wanted to because they're dirt cheap. Will Levis is not very good and can easily get hurt or like underperform or whatever else. And all it takes is Mason Rudolph to either play well in one preseason game or Will Levis to get hurt or benched, and those cards triple. And we're into them for nothing.
Well, they're also he's so affordable that like it's gonna be even more than like a triple, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like if he has like one decent game for whatever reason, like a $15 like NT auto turns into like $80.
Yeah. So like I don't know what we're doing with the cards yet. They're sitting on like one of my desks. Like it's really, really, truly funny. And I was mocking it because I wrote on Instagram this morning. Let me see what I wrote. It was 140 Mason Rudolph rookie autos, RPAs, book, etc. Split with Lane. Call me your fifth favorite hobby influencer because you can bet the second he breathes on the court, I breathes on the field. I'm calling him the next face of the league. People follow me buying Japanese baseball. You really think they won't buy an American QB? This is a serious statement. LOL. Like really, truly stupid.
Well, I think, like you said, though, like if you wanted to, you could easily make money on that lot right now. That was a great deal. Like, I don't know why he sold those so cheap.
He just wanted them gone. This was on Old School, which frankly, Old School I go between like loving and hating. Right now I'm in a good mood for it because I did well. But Lane tagged me in the post first, and I thought it was funny, and I laughed at it. And I sent it to our friend Shovel, who was a Steelers fan. And then Lane DM'd me on the side saying, "Hey, do you actually want to own this? I think it could be a good move." So I had to be persuaded to buy the lot and then poke fun at it. Just so stupid. I do believe backup quarterback buying is always a kind of a frankly smart move in this industry, in this world, because we're dumb. And I got tricked into buying a dumb collection of Mason Rudolph cards, which could make us money down the line. Go figure. Stupid timeline.
I think I'm pretty sure like right when the season ended, like didn't he play a couple games or something?
He did. I think he actually started their playoff game too, if I recall.
Yeah, like he did like serviceable, I guess. He wasn't great or anything, but like just that's gonna like give some sort of momentum on his cards, you know?
Dude, all it takes first off is a hobby goat and an influencer to come in, say, I'm going to buy Mason Rudolph too. Rudolph to come in game 1 or game 2 of the preseason, throw like a 40-yard dot to like DeAndre Hopkins or Tyler Boyd, who just signed today, and it'll be like, Mason Rudolph, the GOAT, face of the league, question mark, deal or no deal. And I'm going to laugh and go to the bank and just cash all my fucking money on this. So dumb.
Just get ready for that one night in September where you see 55 Mason Rudolphs at auction.
Oh yes, no, they're not going to go to auction because people will return them when they get common sense.
That's very fair. Well, can't you return them on if you buy it now, or are you gonna just not eBay them?
I think the way to move those is like Facebook deal or no deal, and like have the lemmings come in and buy them and think they're getting a good deal when like we bought them for $14 per. So like, whatever. Like that's once again, like I really do have to poke fun at our industry because I truly love it, and being critical is really funny to me. And like about everything I say, which is not involving a sports car deal, is about 70% serious. So like it's meant to be taken somewhat seriously with like some humor, but it truly is that simple. You find one schmuck to come in and buy a quarterback. Lane got like 5 or 6 DMs about why are you buying Mason Rudolph? What's the play here? What are you guys doing? No one DM me about that because I'm obviously a fucking idiot. But Lane is not. So it's just so interesting. Everyone trying to copycat one another, trying to make an extra buck here or there. So if they want to try and flip Mason Rudolph in September for whatever reason, or August, be my guest.
I'm surprised Sam Darnold's not getting like pumped up like that.
I think he kind of is. I've seen a few of his cards move on Facebook and Instagram and eBay and whatever, but like everyone kind of knows what's going to happen there. Like because JJ McCarthy will not have cards like people want for quite a while. Darnold will get some run. I'm not sure how long he'll start for the Vikings, if even. Like it would not shock me if he plays like 3 to 5 games, and then they let JJ come in. It might even be 2 games. JJ might win the job outright. Like it would not shock me one way or the other. I also was having a funny text exchange. I'm not sure, Kai, if you saw this also on Instagram this week. This is one of my friends who is getting into sports cards, doesn't really know a lot, which is perfectly fine. Like I would love to be a resource for those who don't know a good amount of sports card knowledge. Obviously, I don't either, but I have some level of context and historical background now. I'm trying to find the text. He was asking me about buying silver prisms or prism in general of football. And basically what I said was, yo, it's May. Our best product for football of last year's draft class is Prism. And the best QBs and players won't even have NT autos. This entry is fucking the best. And it was just a joke of how like dumb we are because NT does not even have a release date yet for last year's draft class. And it's May. And we have a new draft class. So,
I wonder if they're just thinking of ways to like maximize like Stroud and Will Levis cards, like making like 40 different insert sets and stuff.
Sure, but like once again, we are at May. Preseason will begin not terribly far away from now, and the best product coming out of last year's draft class is Prism. You still have NT. I believe Immaculate has not come out either, as far as I know.
Immaculate just came out like a week or 2 ago.
Okay, so Immaculate's a top 5 product for football, maybe top 10, whatever, maybe top 7, whatever.
Spectra and Immaculate just came out, I think.
Okay, so those are quality products, but still, like Prism is the best one, most likely for like reselling and like flipping and stuff like that. NT is generally top 2 or 3. Flawless is generally in the top 3 to 4 range. Those haven't come out yet. Those kind of signal the end of like the football year for those players. Would it really shock you, Kai, if we're in September 2024 and like you're still getting Bryce Young and CJ Stroud rookie cards?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's coming soon, but we still don't have Optic Select, Contenders Optic. Not that any of them will have Contenders Optic autos or anything, but like we don't have like 3 of the top 7 products still. And like you're saying, NT is probably not going to be. When did NT come out this year?
I think it came out around the National.
The National? So, yeah, you're right, it did. So, I mean, maybe August. They're going slower and slower, so.
Like, it really is a joke. Panini, and I really, truly hate Panini. I forgot about this until just now. I had redeemed a Luka Doncic X Factor patch auto to 99. The card expired 4 days before I redeemed it. So like right in that time frame, like, all right, yeah, whatever. They should have it in stock. No big deal. All right, redeem it. No big deal. Like send it off. I got an email the following morning. You've been awarded points. Suck my dick. That's not acceptable. I called them and they're like, yeah, we actually don't have this item in stock anymore. Like if you had redeemed this earlier, I would have given you a replacement. It's like, dude, it's 4 days. This product is not that old. The auto is live. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta work with me a little bit. Like, duh, our policy says we can't. We actually gave you more points based on the value of the card. Like, I hope you go bankrupt. Please, like, thank you for the Chase Claypool autos I can buy. This is totally useful. Topps is mopping the floor with you guys. They just redeemed redemptions up to a decade. You have Chase Claypool autos. You've lost every credibility you could ever have.
Dude, I've had so many, like, I think a month ago, I emailed them about a Kyle Pitts NTRPA I've had for God knows how long, a year and a half now. I emailed them like 8 months ago about, because that's when he started signing like some of the cards. I emailed him then. I got an email like a month ago, like 7 months later, like responding to my email. Like, that's just stupid. Don't even respond to me at that point. And I've had redemptions they said they are live and they're sending to me in a week. Like, 3 months ago, and they still haven't mailed them. So I just kind of gave up at this point.
So, like, I understand saying you like Fanatics is a bad thing, but I like Fanatics more than Panini, and that's
I
not a
dislike them
high.
less.
Thank you. That's a better way of describing it. It is really, truly not a high bar to like a company more than the other. Panini is truly just like, I don't blame them for not giving a shit anymore. You got away with being so incompetent for so long. You probably forgot how to be a productive member of society. Panini reps and employees and everything, and signers and all the good stuff. You've forgotten how to be an actual human being. Completely get it. Topps has shown any kind of semblance of being capable, and I understand their jerseys are bad. They do this thing I don't like. They're at least trying. So I'd rather them try and then be bad versus the company that has continued to suck for quite a while. So yeah, I'm fully on board with Fanatics taking over the industry. I don't give a shit anymore. They are already better in my mind than Panini could ever be because frankly, Panini has stopped being a real company, and I hope they go bankrupt soon or get bought by Fanatics, which I think is going to happen.
I couldn't have said it any better, honestly. It's annoying because you want Panini to like do a good job with products and redemption and everything. They just give them so many chances. Like they've had the rights for what, 10 years almost exactly, I think.
A little bit more, I think.
And it's like, come on, you can't figure this stuff out. You can't get releases on schedule after 3-4 years after COVID. Like, it's just a little old at this point.
Topps figured it out quickly. It took them a little bit of time, but like, there's new baseball products coming out every now and again during the baseball season. How hard is it really?
They have Series 1 or flagship or whatever comes out like right around opening day with the new rookies and everything. Is that hard? No.
Like, I would kill to have like a decent product available of Caleb and Drake May and Jay Nails. I'm not telling you it needs to be Prism or NT. If you had Optic available July 4th, or OTA's open on this date, and it also coincides with this product release, wouldn't that be more fun, Kai, if you could actually prospect a player?
I think the thing here is like, I don't know how to say this right, but like for us being like people that have been doing cards for more than 4 years or whatever, like we were used to that where you could like buy players before the season started. But to everyone that came in like after COVID or whatever and are used to the schedule they're on now, like I don't think they mind it as much because they're just like robotic in a sense. And I don't know if that's explained in a great way, but we're like kind of thrown off by how it is now. It's a little bit more upsetting to us maybe than to them in a way.
I wouldn't say we're thrown off. I just think we, Kai, have an expectation of an industry that is not being. We have an expectation of an industry that's not being met, but it's so goddamn simple. It is so easy.
So easy.
Like it is the bare minimum. One decent product out before football season begins. So like, hey Kai, you're an Atlanta Falcons fan. Michael Penix has Optic color cards. There's no autos of him, maybe, but you can go after like the Reds at $299 or whatever number it is, because Kai wants to have a PC of team colors of his favorite players. Okay, you have to wait till like July of next year.
Get a Donruss base card. Sorry.
Yep. Best I can do for you is an Origins with a 00 jersey number. Maybe.
Dude, they like Origins used to look so nice, and for whatever reason, in my opinion, it looks worse and worse every year.
Because it holds no actual value.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite like low-key products forever since like Zeke's year. I think that was one of the first years they did it, but
I think it is Zeke's year, or maybe Dak? Was that
the same year?
Zeke? Oh, this is the same year? Okay, my bad.
But those cards are beautiful with like Derrick Henry in those, but now it just looks so like a toddler made it.
Have you met a Panini employee or a capable one?
But it might be toddlers. Who knows?
It would not shock me based on their customer service. I don't know, man. We're in a weird spot these days. Like, I do love this industry. I love to poke fun at it too, but like, I don't know. We're seeing what Fanatics and Topps can do with like any kind of semblance of intelligence behind them. Like, not only are they announcing shows in the future, we already know there'll be more Fanatics events beyond Orlando in November. They haven't even done their first show yet. It's 3 months out from the Fanatics Fest, and while we're waiting on information for that, they're already planning for more. I actually texted EJ a week ago, and EJ is the director of deal relations at Fanatics. He's gonna come on our podcast at some point and like talk about the show, and like they have more information available. Like they're actively working on it. Would I like to know more now? Of course I would, but they're still 3 months out. It's their first time doing it, and I will have tempered expectations because guess what? Panini never run a show. Panini couldn't probably run a show. If they did a show, it would be really, really. It'd be like your 40 table card show. It would be a 40 table card show that like no one showed up at, which I actually did this past weekend. It was bad. It was quite bad.
I will say that Fanatics has to do a good job with this first show. They have to pay dealers to go. They have to pay people who make videos. Like, if they don't do a good job, the other ones are going to fail, and I have no doubt about that.
I agree with you. They have one chance to do it correctly. Yeah, it would not shock me if they start reaching out to content creators and influencers to like, hey, come to our show and like we'll pay for your table.
Even just good dealers, though, like, and pay for their table or whatever, like, you know, because if you just have people who are overpriced, like boomers, like content people who don't really have great cards, they just make videos. Like, you need like people who actually deal and people who want to deal with other people that go to shows to see people to deal with them. Like, you need to have like decent dealers or it's going to be a bust.
I think we'll have an opportunity to ask EJ about that whenever the time is right, because I agree with you. I think that there is something to that. And whether it's outwardly, hey, this is a sponsored post by Fanatics, or hey, Fanatics, thank you for the sponsorship here. Like, let's go explore the event. We'll get behind the scenes exclusive looks. Like, there's a way to do it intelligently. Fanatics is at least willing to hear you out. If we came to them with ideas, we talk to EJ like equals and give them ideas, they might take advantage of it because they are at least trying. Panini, I'm pretty sure, still blames COVID for their fucking shipping delays. Or
probably do.
When I called them about that Luka, I distinctly remember, and someone else reminded me of this too. They were proud of their Panini exclusive athletes like Andrew Luck and Leonard Fournette and Kobe Bryant. Literally, one of them is dead. Both of them are, 3 of them are out of the league. Like, it is embarrassing. Like, the lack of effort to even go back and like update your fucking phone number or your information is so embarrassing. How do you get away with this as a company? It's like such a minute little detail and you fucked it up. What's wrong with you?
They're too busy doing first off the line drops for like 7 times more than what they should sell for.
Hey, check out this new thing called Panini Instant.
Oh, dude, I will say, on the whatever that Wembanyama card was, that the Rookie of the Year auto from, that's Topps, right? The Topps now.
That is Topps.
That was so deceiving. Whoever said that in our group chat, that only the 101 has the Rookie of the Year inscription. Did you see that?
I did. I will give Topps some shit for that. Although, if you read the email, it came in.
Correct.
It did mention. Yes,
but it still looks so deceiving.
I will give you that. That is definitely not the best look, and I'll add that in for people who have not seen it. Basically, what it is, Topps obviously has Victor signing a couple cards. He won Rookie of the Year. They released a drop of $3K per card, 1 Victor Wembanyama card, not inscribed, thank you. Different parallels, 99, 49, 25, 10, 5, and the 1 of 1 with the inscription of Rookie of the Year. It's similar to what they did when he got drafted, because only, I think that's a 5 and to 1 got inscribed. Maybe just the 1 of 1, but it did look a little deceitful. So I will call them out there as I see it, but that's frankly not as big of a deal compared to other issues. That
I just remembered that. It's not even, I'm thankful that is the issue here with all that. That's not something else.
Speaking of Topps and Bowman Chrome now, players are signing their blue 1 of 150 as their first Bowman card. Super cool. Like that idea. I'm curious to see kind of how that process works and how people respond to that price as opposed to like a normal blue. Like, what is it going to end up pricing itself at?
I wonder why it's the blue one and not like a orange gold or like a red. It was super.
I don't know. Maybe they just made them do in that order. I'll never forget Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signing Panini Flawless and Immaculate and just like throwing the cards on the table.
I remember that bit. He posted that like on his story, right, or something.
I have a lot of editing to do. I'm gonna see if I can find that video or
That's
at least a
hilarious.
picture of
You
it.
remember that?
It was just so embarrassing. Like, obviously, we don't expect the best quality and stuff, but it was quite a bad look for Vlad and Monkey and
That's
Panini.
so funny. I can't get that out of my head now. I vividly remember that.
Yeah, and that is 6 years ago at this point. It's 5 years ago at this point when he would have been a rookie signing stuff. Like, I don't know, man. We're in a weird spot, and I'm not sure how we get out of it anymore.
We don't. We die.
We don't get out of it. And we do
We die
die.
with
That
our
is,
cards.
I mean, some people have coffin cards because they just are overpriced as hell. Other people just have coffin cards because like they truly like their cards. What a bunch of losers. I did have.
Wait, I have a really random question for you.
Go for it.
Do you have a card that you would actually not sell that you don't have already? That if you could acquire, you would actually put it away? No, not the Trout Kershaw duel, a different one.
No, just the Trout Kershaw. So the reason why, and I'll grab it real quick just for story time.
He has a really good story for this one.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit, but generally, like, I can be a human being sometimes too. So what I'm holding right here is a Mike Trout, Clayton Kershaw, 2017 Topps Definitive Dual Patch Auto, number 2/5. Amazing card. Like, if you were an LA fan, you'd like that card regardless. The reason why I can never sell this card in general or ever is, ironically enough, on my first day with my now fiance, I won this card on eBay and thought it was really, really funny. And then I immediately moved it like 2 days later. And then obviously I ended up like staying with my girlfriend at the time, the fiance. Now we're getting married. And I'm like, all right, cool. Before I get married to her, I want to go find this card and like win it back. So I spent 2 years trying to find the card. And then I got it. And then I've never moved it since. It's been posted a couple times on Instagram. And maybe I've told that story before on this podcast. But like, yeah, this is never going anywhere. You can give me $1 million. Now we're not, okay, I'll tell for $1 million. But like,
you got to take it on honeymoon with you.
No, I would never, ever, ever do that. I really, truly hate that practice of people like taking sports cards with them to public events. You look like a fucking loser. I don't care what the card is.
Well,
So
you didn't have to like show it off. You could just like lay it in the bed with you guys.
That's actually better, but also so much worse. Like, dude, these are trading cards. Like, you don't like. And Miguel, it's my holy grail. I'm so lucky and precious to own this beautiful, darling card, and I love it, and I snuggle it every night in bed. And 4 hours later, it's now available. Please buy from me.
Not gonna lie, I've definitely done that before. Probably like 5 years ago.
Okay, Kai, but 5 years ago, like that card was like probably something you really liked, like a Matt Ryan card, and then someone offered you a stupid amount of money and you sold it. Like,
Yeah, probably.
now it's like, this is my Michael Jordan PSA 10 holy grail. When I was birthed 17 years ago on this very day, the first words were Michael Jordan Fleer PSA 10. And I finally owned it. And I'm so proud and honored to own this trading card. And I'm so lucky and happy. And by the time you finish writing the post, it's already sold.
It's like at the very bottom, they put like dash available.
Yep, dash sold. Like, the reason why I use the Fleer 10 is because obviously it's like, it's just an easy card to mock. And like, frankly, they're also super duper liquid in any grade. So yeah, someone writing up a holy post on why they love that card and why it's their inevitable grail, I'll never ever move it, and then it's sold, is just always a good time for a laugh.
It's kind of funny though, because like in a way, like I kind of get it, but I do agree it's really like funny / stupid. But I do kind of get it in a way, like holy shit, I actually just like bought one of these. But then I think you got to frame it in a way that's like less like holy shit, I'm never selling this, compared to like a oh my god, I can't believe I got this.
Dude, once again, I own an actual item that is frankly something that belongs in a museum. The first hit in the fucking history of the Florida Marlins is on my desk. Why do I own this? I'm a stupid asshole from New Jersey who's a Yankee fan. This belongs in a museum. This is actually history. Why do I own this? When this goes away one day, I'll make a post saying like, this was really cool to own. This is something I'll remember forever because that's fucking so cool. But like a Fleer 10 MJ, it's just expensive. You can own a 9 that looks pretty good and be just as happy for a 20th of the price.
That ball is going to be worth a lot when the Marlins lose their franchise because they're so poverty.
Yeah, they traded Arise to the Padres. They're going to trade Jazz, I think. All their pitchers are hurt. Like,
they may never get another hit again. It's
eBay
so
one,
unfair.
eBay 101 right there. Also, Kai, I've out of spite not put on eBay because I told you I wouldn't.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple questions too that I want to touch on before we kind of not wrap up, but like before we miss these. From Rare Trading Cards, from Rare Trading Sports Co. Will PSA ever get bulk pricing back to 13 and under?
No.
Yeah, I agree with you. The reason why is not just because we're saying no. I think what it's at $17 per card or $19 per card now.
17's the special price, but 19's if you have a collector's club membership. If you don't, it's like 20 something a card, I think.
Okay. So the reason why it will never come back is because PSA and SGC are owned by the same parent company now. So what I think is going to happen realistically for most people is they will make SGC the budget option, rightfully so, because like it's a little bit quicker, people like it, it has its place in this industry, and PSA, while it will take a little bit longer and more expensive, is a premium. So it could get down to $20 per card if it's 21, 22. It'll never get down to 13 unless like there's an extreme situation where like, hey, we're running this promo on Bowman paper or Bowman Chrome from 2024. And like if you submit 50 cards, we'll do 15 per card on Bowman paper non-autos or something like that.
I mean, frankly, like I wouldn't even like want that to happen because I couldn't even imagine how long those would take to come back.
Yeah.
I also just don't think they have any reason to like lower the prices. Like I get it from like a business point of view. Like people are going to be sending hundreds of thousands of cards a month or millions or whatever at $19, $21, whatever it is. Like, why would you lower them?
No, there's no reason to. If anything, you create a special SGC price where like, oh, because they did this for Bowman Chrome with Japanese baseball, because that's how I sold a bunch of it. It was $9 per card, SGC, 5 business day turnaround, something like that. It was awesome. That is the only time I ever submit to SGC is when like they run those Bowman or Topps Chrome or whatever
Which
else.
they probably will do again, like pretty soon. Yeah,
they will. They'll probably end up announcing it like next couple of weeks because this is the time when they started to do it. This is Bowman time. It's coming up, so just something to keep in mind for the future. I don't think they'll ever come back. We got 2 questions from Legends Cards. How do you value SGC cards these days when all the shakeup and grading? I really don't care for SGC. Like if it's an SGC 9 or SGC 10, like they're about the same quality of card generally as PSA in those similar grades, but like when I'm pricing it, my mind is like, oh, this would look good in PSA because PSA sells better. So,
see, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'll actually like counter you, and I'll say the quality of a SGC 10 is probably equivalent to like PSA 8.
So you think SGC is more lenient than PSA?
Oh, dude, it's people like I'll say this publicly. No one else will say this publicly, but everyone sends their damage cards to SGC to get 9, 5s, and 10s.
I do that too.
Like it's everyone does that. Like, like you see people that grade a ton and they have their SGC 10s or 9, 5s with their PSA slabs coming back from like grading reveals or whatever. Like those are all PSA rejects. Like everyone knows this.
Yes, I will agree with that. My Roki Sasaki Orange, my paper, I thought was a PSA 8. It's an SGC 10.
Exactly like, I mean, obviously there's going to be outliers where it's like SGC 10 would cross to PSA 10, but I would say literally 75% of the time it'll be a 9 or below.
So how would you price it?
It kind of depends what it is. I mean, I think roughly I would say an SGC 10 is probably like 60 to 70% of a PSA 10. And
so
I would say
a BGS 9.5 basically is what you're saying.
Yeah, and then an SGC 9.5 is probably about the same as a PSA 9, roughly, because no one likes PSA 9s anymore for whatever reason.
Yep, cards have to be perfect, Kai.
I think the 10 to 10 ratio is probably what matters the most. I think it's probably like 60 to 70 or BGS 9.5, like you said.
Now, how would you value BGS 10s and black labels in the current market? Because that was the second question. Yeah.
I think BGS 10s and black labels like really kind of only matter to like people who are going to be like the end user for the card in a way. Definitely it matters when it goes to auction or whatever, but I think the multiplier is starting to like go down, especially on normal 10s, because I think people just are dumb and just see the number 10 and think it should be close to a PSA 10 when in reality they don't realize how hard a BGS 10 is to get.
Well, I don't think it's that, Kai. I think it's just like the NPCs or like flippers or stuff like that who don't know any better.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the PSA 10 sold for $4,000. I'll give you 45 for your BGS 10s. Like, that's not how this shit works.
Well, see, I kind of support the idea of like that whole Beckett thing, switching all their 9.5s to 10s, but I don't think it's like nearly possible. Like, I don't know how they would do that in a way. Like, there's no way they're gonna get all the cards back.
So wait, what are you talking about?
You haven't seen that? They were gonna like. This was when everyone was getting pissed off when Beckett announced their new grading. They were gonna change all 9.5s to Beckett 10s. You don't remember this?
What does that accomplish?
I don't know. I just think it makes it like it's never going to happen because it just can't happen. But like, I think it would make the black label in a way almost more valuable than it already is. Because, you know, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I don't know. Beckett just doesn't like. No one likes it anymore. I don't get it. The only way people use it is to send their PSA rejects or cards that won't PSA 10 to Beckett to get more value out of it. Like, let's be honest here.
The only cards that truthfully belong in like Beckett slabs are, like you mentioned, PSA rejects and like thick cards. Like an NCRPA belongs. Yeah, flawless if you're gonna grade, dynasty if you grade it for whatever reason, like immaculate, NC, like thick patch autos deserve to be in Beckett because it just presents and looks better. PSA thick slabs are just gross. I mean, and sure, it could PSA 10, it's gonna have more value than a 9.5, which is possible. But it's also just as likely it's going to be a PSA 8 because they're thick cards. They're always a mess, kind of. We have one more, and this one's going to be interesting. This one can get us in trouble. Do you know who AIH Sports is, whatever his Instagram?
Yeah, I think I follow them. Yeah,
I follow them too. They make decent content. I'm not shitting on them, but we did get asked this question. AIH blaming COVID shots for death of soccer player. So I Googled this.
You say?
So AIH made a reel Saturday or Sunday. A literal soccer player died, and he was equating it to the COVID vaccine from 3 years ago at this point. I don't know why we're getting asked that question. I'm not sure why he blames the COVID booster or the shot. I don't care. Get in the DMs and complain about politics. Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah. Fuck Donald Trump and fuck Joe Biden. Y'all suck. I hate all of you. But like,
I lied. I don't follow this guy.
That's funny. Basically, I only get my opinions on politics from the smartest people alive, which are sports card collectors
and Twitter.
So, yep, and Twitter. Only Twitter and sports card collectors. The smartest people in the world. Both political parties suck. I wish there was a decent third party, but there isn't. I hope no one wins the election this coming year because, frankly, both of them should be in an old retirement home. Too old. Don't give a shit.
You're gonna get us canceled, Dave. We were so close to a sponsorship.
Kai, you don't want to sponsor me. I voted for Trump, and I would not vote for him again though at this point.
Speaking of the sponsorship, we never got a response.
Yeah, Alt hates us, dude. We're sponsored by Card Ladder now. Fuck them.
I was about to send them a box too tomorrow of cards. No, I'm not doing it.
That would be so funny if that actually was what was happening. What else? Is there anything else to really touch on? We actually were more like organized and structured today, which is shocking because I had no notes prepared. Anything else you want to talk on, Kai, or no?
I mean, not really. I mean, we say this a lot, but it just feels like it's kind of like I guess maybe not for you as much because you're going to Dallas, but it just kind of feels like it's like an in-between stage right now in these couple months. I don't know. We keep repeating it, but it just still feels that way.
There's no products to really be excited for right now. Do we know when NT basketball comes out?
Dude, NT basketball like just came out for last year, a couple months ago, didn't it?
Did it?
Are you talking about? Wait, are you talking about when Paolo's year comes out, or the next one?
Like Victor. Oh, it's gonna be like.
Come on, we got a while.
So, like, what is the next basketball chase then? What's the next product people care about? Prism's already out.
I mean, football, it has a couple good products. Select and Optic are coming out relatively soon. But basketball-wise, I could not tell you. I have no idea.
Like,
maybe Optic.
I think that's the issue. Is like baseball is Boeing, which is coming out tomorrow, which is good, and like people are excited for that. But like the fact that you and I can't even name like the next basketball product to come out that people want to care about, or football is like known but not really like defined yet, is I think why there's a lull. I mean, obviously, like you're not traveling for shows right now, which is a lull for you. I'm beginning to prep for Dallas. That's an exciting time, but like there's nothing new that's come out or about to come out that like really gets excited to be like, wow, I want to open product, or I want to go chase this, or I want the ability to go after this. And I think that's kind of why we feel the way we do, because I mean, now would be almost a time to begin national prep, but like even then, I'm not excited to go to Cleveland.
You and everyone else.
Yeah, like okay, it's in Cleveland. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a movie, bro.
I was just about to say that.
Hey, yo, I'm here with my crew. I'm vlogging in Cleveland. It's just like,
look at that train.
Oh man, there's so much to do here. Like, guys, help! I heard Cleveland is really boring.
It's like not even close. This is the worst venue by far. Not venue, but like area. It's not even relatively close.
Is AC actually better?
I thought, okay, everyone got sick from Atlantic City, which
it's a Jersey thing.
That was kind of expected, but
yep.
I honestly didn't mind it that much. Like I didn't. It's obviously a little sketchy at night, but like I didn't really have any issues. Like the hotel was fine. Like there was a casino. That's kind of fun, you know. But I didn't really have a problem.
I don't like the Jersey Shore.
You're also a local though, so you definitely have more of a opinion on it than I would.
Atlantic City is a dump. Like Bally's needs to be torn down. The only way I'd ever go back to Atlantic City now is go to the Borgata and not leave it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was like that bad. Really,
my room was kind of sleazy, and Bally's like carpet floor. I will always remember forever because I'm pretty sure it's not been cleaned in 70 years.
You know what I will say is, wherever we got that food from that one day was disgusting.
Oh my god! So I just unlocked a terrible core memory. So, real quick before we wrap up, this was Guy Fieri's like barbecue restaurant, or like whatever Guy Fieri's restaurant would be called. I'm not sure. So you would expect, if it's barbecue, let's just say hypothetically, you would expect like men who speak English who like know barbecue were there. Not being racist or offensive, Kai, do you remember who was working there?
I do. I'll let you say it.
It was all Asian women who did not speak English. How the fuck did we get here? It was really bizarre. And then the food was so disgusting, like peppery, that like I actually threw it out, which is really
none of us ate it. It was like 6 or 7 of us. I think we all threw our food out.
It was the single worst meal I've ever had in my entire life, to the point where we went and got like pizza down like the boardwalk, which was okay. Like even that wasn't that good, but like comparatively, it was much better. And that was the worst meal I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, that just popped in my head when we started talking about this. I forgot about that totally.
I don't even understand why. Why did that happen?
I don't know. It was like, I think all of those restaurants in that little warehouse were all his, and that was just like the barbecue one or something. But it was literally terrible. Probably bottom 3 worst thing I've ever ate in my life.
I agree with you. I really don't have any good expectations for Cleveland. Like I might go out of just like expecting to be there and like hopefully make deals, but like I really am not excited for this year for the national. I've been saying that for quite a while, and I just don't have good feelings about it.
Yeah, to me, I'm kind of in the same boat. It just feels like weird to not go if I wasn't gonna go.
Like I don't know what I would do instead if I didn't go. Like I'm gonna go because I have my hotel booked, like my flight and whatever, but like I just don't have good expectations, and I'm gonna keep saying that until like I lock down a showcase or two. Because,
well, I think if you get the show, like I think the show itself will be fine. I just don't think it will be that enjoyable, if that makes sense.
No, I agree with you. Like, there's not gonna be much to do once the show ends. Every night, you're gonna like go like back to your hotel room. You're gonna like actually maybe you're not even gonna go to your hotel room because you have to Uber everywhere.
Well, there's also, from what I remember, there's not many hotels that are like a Dallas hotel where there's like an area for a trade night. They're all like smaller hotels.
Do you know where you're staying, Kai, or no? Did you book the same
No,
hotel as I did?
I haven't booked a hotel. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me tell you my hotel.
I'm guessing yours is probably sold out.
We're not Chalk Me. I wonder what room I have though. I wonder if I can actually give you a. Hang on, I want to just check my reservation. I actually might have. If I have a queen bed, you're welcome to have the second one.
Oh, sick.
I have a king bed. Sorry.
Damn.
I just checked. It is the Orbit.
The what?
It's called the Orbit.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, like. I wonder if I can. I'm gonna just see if I can change my thing to a 2 queen bed. Because like I'm not bringing Casey. I'm not bringing my fiance if I don't have a showcase. So I'd rather like help my friends at that rate. But
What days are you going? Do you know yet? Or obviously you know. Never mind.
it looks like I'm checking in on the 23rd July, and I'm leaving Sunday, the 28th.
So is that what, Wednesday?
It's Tuesday to Sunday for me.
Okay. Yeah, I was planning. I'm gonna do like Wednesday to Saturday, probably.
That might be the move too. I might move up my flight.
Yeah.
Like the issue, truthfully, is like I booked this at the last national. I was sitting there in 95-degree weather in Chicago because they had no air conditioning. If you guys remember that. And I said, all right, well, I'm going to Cleveland. Let me book my hotel room now because fuck it, it doesn't matter. And I wonder if I can change this real quick. Let's see. Change booking. I'm just curious. It might charge me more money. That was the issue I had last year in Chicago. Can I change it to 2 queens? Nope. Can't change it. Sorry.
It's okay, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I figured I would look, but yeah, I don't know what you're gonna. You might end up being like in an Airbnb, like 20 minutes away at this rate. If you end up going now at this point.
Yeah, we'll have to see, I guess.
That sucks. It's so stupid. But if I cancel my flight for whatever reason, I'll let you know, and like you can take my room. Like it's so bad I even have to say that.
Yeah.
But well, hopefully it changes. But thank you guys for watching and listening. Next week I will be talking about Dallas and a better show than Cleveland and a better city and state and everything else. So thank you guys for watching and listening. Next week, conversation about Dallas. Bye.
See ya.